Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 119th annual meeting of the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce. I'm April DeFalco, the president of the GMCC. Again, I'll state before we get started, we ask that anyone who is not presenting or receiving an award or speaking today, that they mute their sound and they turn off their video to make sure that we have the sufficient bandwidth for the entire meeting. However, we do want your participation. So to actively acknowledge those being celebrated today, we ask that when applause is warranted, you utilize your emoji clap symbol to show your appreciation, or use the chat feature to send your sentiments directly to a specific person or the entire audience. These features can be found when you hover your mouse down at the bottom of your Zoom screen on the toolbar. Well, these are certainly unprecedented times and definitely not how we expected to be celebrating the 119th year of supporting the business community. The annual meeting is normally an opportunity to reflect on the past year, offer a preview into our future, and most importantly, to celebrate everyone's accomplishments. I guess this year is really no different. We're just celebrating differently. And if ever there was a time to celebrate our business community, it's now. We've witnessed some of the most incredible strength and resilience from all of you during COVID. Your creativity and your innovation, and the will to stay the course has been nothing short of extraordinary. You all deserve awards for your tenacity. So please give yourselves a big virtual round of applause that you so deserve. I love it. That's great. I'd like to get started today by recognizing our presenting sponsor, KeyBank. In its 10th year, KeyBank continues to support not only our annual meeting, but our Buy Local initiative. This year, we're excited to include new features to the Buy Local that will engage not only our members, but residents and shoppers from outside of Manchester. We've even added features that will offer our members the opportunity to start to quantify their membership. Go Explore Manchester is the improved version of Buy Local, and it's already made its debut on the cover of the 2020-21 directory and on your annual report that was emailed to you this morning. So be on the lookout for opportunities to participate. And now, speaking on behalf of KeyBank is David Constant, Relationship Manager, Vice President, GMCC Board Member. David?
Thank you, April, and good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here and an honor to serve on the board of the Greater Manchester Chamber, working with you and the other board members. As you said, KeyBank's roots run deep in Manchester, and we are proud of our longtime support to the Chamber, its members, and the entire Manchester community. That's why the Chamber's Buy Local program and now new Go Explore Manchester program supporting local businesses has always been something that our bank has been proud to stand behind. Today, that program is even more vital to the economic health of Manchester. The past few months have been truly challenging for everyone, but along with the Chamber, Key's commitment to Manchester has not wavered. Even as we moved many of our employees to work from home and put strict safety and social distancing measures in place in our branches to help reduce the spread of COVID-19, our teams remained on the job for our customers. As of earlier this week, many of our Manchester area branches have reopened their lobbies, although a few continue to be open only by appointment and drive-through. I want to recognize my branch colleagues for their tremendous dedication, our branches every day, and providing exceptional service to our customers, despite challenging business conditions. For those customers and businesses experiencing financial hardships, our bankers have worked with them to provide relief through borrowing assistance programs, payment waivers, and fee and penalty waivers. We've also helped customers and those who don't bank with us receive the full value of their government-issued stimulus benefit by cashing checks without fees and waiving negative account balances and overdraft fees. Our bankers work tirelessly to process more than 39,000 SBA Paycheck Protection Program loans for businesses and nonprofits to date, including applications from Manchester area businesses to help them keep their workers employed. In fact, 90% of $8 billion in funds that KeyBank provided nationwide went to small businesses, with approximately 23% of them located in low and moderate income neighborhoods. And for as long as the SBA continues to make funding available, we will continue to accept PPP applications from businesses in need. We are also guiding borrowers on how to manage their funds to ensure 100% forgiveness, and will be launching an online portal shortly to accept loan forgiveness applications. We at KeyBank are also proud of how we supported our communities and nonprofit partners with $18 million in philanthropic commitments to COVID response in our most vulnerable communities across our bank's 15-state footprint. Plus, we raised an additional $1.9 million in employee donations and corporate matches company-wide to support hundreds of local nonprofits meaningful to our teammates, including many here in Manchester. KeyBank is proud to be here for you today, and as we work together to reopen our state and country, we are ready to help you tomorrow. We have a long and strong history that has seen us prevail through many challenging times, and we have always been there for our clients, our colleagues, and for our communities. We pledge to continue that legacy. With that, thank you again for the opportunity to speak on behalf of KeyBank, and I will now return the virtual podium back to April. Enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you, David. Oh, am I muted? Oh, thank you, David, so much. Let's begin by recognizing the dignitaries that we have with us today. Dignitaries, I ask that when I announce your name, you state your position or title so that your image will come into speaker view for the audience. Jay Moran.
I'm still mayor, folks. Thank you.
Scott Shanley. I thought he was supposed to be here today. Manchester. Oh. Scott? Scott is the general manager of Manchester. Jason Doucette.
Hi, everybody. Jason Doucette, state representative for the 13th House District. Happy opening day of phase 2 of the state's reopening. Thank you all for your patience and perseverance.
Thank you, Jason. And Steve Cassano. Steve is a state of Connecticut senator. Thank you all for being with us today. It's now my pleasure to introduce Bob Pagani, Chairman of the GMCC Board of Directors, who will call this virtual meeting to order.
Thanks, April. Good morning, everyone. Actually, it's a virtual meeting, but I do have a gavel, and I'd like to call the 119th annual meeting of the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce to order. Hope you all like that. I'll begin by introducing our executive board. And as April stated, as I state your name, if you could unmute yourself and then state your company. I'll begin by our executive officers of the board of directors. And I'll begin with Phil Nemphos.
Morning, everybody. Phil Nemphos, MMNT, Certified Public Accountants.
Next is Kevin O'Brien.
Good morning, everyone. Kevin O'Brien, O'Brien Law here in Manchester.
Tom Machuga.
Tom Machuga from Machuga Financial Services.
Beth Stafford.
Good morning, Beth Stafford from MAC Charities.
Sorry, I lost my place. I got it. Will Broneal.
Good morning, everybody. William Broneal with the law offices of William Broneal here in Manchester.
Tom Ostergren. I don't think Tom is on. Tom is with Webster Bank. April DeFalco.
President, GMCC.
And as chairman, myself, Bob Pagani, I'm with Colliers International. So I'd now like to present our board of directors as well. As a reminder, if you could unmute yourself and state the name of your company for your audience. I believe these are mostly alphabetical, so you may be able to anticipate. First on our list is Peg Aldrich.
Always first with that A. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm so proud to be able to help with the chamber by serving on the board and doing as much as I can. New York Life and Life Securities, my office is right in Manchester. And we'd love to see you. We'll be opening up soon. Thank you.
Keith Bolio. I guess Keith is not on. Keith is with the Main Pub, and obviously as a restaurant, he's into some challenging times. So, Fred Brown.
Good morning, Fred Brown from Northeast Family Federal Credit Union, right there in the heart of Manchester.
Jordan Coe. Okay, I guess Jordan is not on. Jordan is ShopRite of Manchester, East Hartford, and now most recently Vernon. John Devaney.
John Devaney, Highland Park Market, Manchester.
John Garaventa.
Morning, John Garaventa, Garaventa Photography.
Greg Gezzi.
Good morning, Greg Gezzi with G4 Science and Graphics, located in South Windsor, Connecticut.
Patrick Gleason. I thought I saw Patrick on it earlier, but Patrick is with the Ambulance Service of Manchester. Mike Kaiser.
Good morning, everybody. Mike Kaiser from eCircle Marketing, right on Main Street.
Nina Cruzet. Sounded like somebody wanted to go. Nina's with ECHN. Tanya Milner Harley. Tanya's with Manchester Community College. Virginia Pepe.
Hi, good morning.
Virginia.
Good morning and welcome back to the shops at Buckland Hills. We're thrilled to have all of our business partners back online and certainly looking forward to getting the restaurants open and operating as I am happy to see those across town getting open.
Dave Constant. We already know Dave's with Key Bank.
Good morning, Bob. Again, good morning, everyone.
Thanks, Dave. Millie Texador Mafucci.
Good morning, everyone. Millie Texador from People's United Bank in Manchester.
Dan Wilson.
Good morning, Wilson Company Realtors. Not last in the alphabet, thanks to Zingler.
Another W, too. Rob Wilson. I guess Rob is not on. Rob is with Primary Residential Mortgage.
Good morning. Sorry, I had trouble with the video. Good morning, everybody. Rob Wilson, Primary Residential Mortgage.
Rob. Tamara Womack Speaks.
Good morning, everyone. Tamara Womack Speaks, Manchester Adult and Continuing Ed. And just to let you guys know, our summer camp is probably going to be open from August 3rd through the 21st.
Here. And Kevin Zingler.
Morning, everyone. Kevin Zingler from Mark Inc. of Manchester. Thanks for having me here.
The Chamber Board is lucky enough to have some ex-officio members on our board. They serve on behalf of the town. We have Chief Darby, William Darby. I'm not sure if the chief is on. I don't think he is.
No.
Okay. We have Matt Geary, Superintendent of Schools. I might have saw him click on. I guess not. And Scott Shanley, our General Manager. So ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2020-2021 GMCC Board of Directors. So we now like to acknowledge our retiring board members. We have a couple of people that have served on our board for a number of years. I don't believe that they're here today, but I do want to mention, certainly thank them for their service and mention their names. Attorney Mary Rossetti, who served a number of years. I think she was on executive board and board. It had to be a good decade or so. And Claire Miller Birdie from Ann Miller Real Estate. Claire took over her mother's spot, and then she served very well for us. So I want to take a moment also to recognize one of our chamber members who recently passed away. Dottie Cannon of Brown Sugar Catering passed away a week ago today. Dottie had been a chamber member since 2006, joining shortly after she opened Brown Sugar Catering. Dottie was a very active member. She became an ambassador in our chamber. She loved the town of Manchester and the people who lived here. Dottie always found a way to give back to her community, and her generosity won her the Community Achievement Award, which we'll be awarding later on today to Sarah. And she won the Hometown Hero Award from the Journal Enquirer in 2017. But whether Dottie was donating her time and food at fundraisers for the chamber, for Mark Inc., or My Sister's Place in Hartford, everywhere she went, she was represented and adored. We have lost an incredibly talented, significant person to the business community, but even more so, we have lost a dear friend. Today, we honor the memory of Dottie Cannon, a selfless, caring, and exceptional woman who will be greatly missed. And if we could just take a minute or a few seconds for a moment of silence for Dottie. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce another very important group in our chamber. This is our Ambassador Club. You've probably seen them around. April makes them wear red sweaters, and they all look great. They deliver plaques to new members. They check in on our existing members. They support new members. And they are the host of our upcoming Ambassador Golf Tournament, which we are all working hard to make sure that we have a golf tournament. And that will be, it may be different, but I think we will have it, as evidenced by talking to people at the club and for Emma checking in with the pro shop. I'm sorry. So again, I'd like to introduce the ambassadors. The ambassadors are our go-to group when we need people to promote our Chamber of Commerce. And again, after I read your name, if you can state your company name, if you're on the call. So amongst our ambassadors, and these are mostly alphabetical too, Nancy Berube.
Good morning, everyone. Nancy Berube, Branch Manager of American Eagle Financial Credit Union, Manchester.
William Broneal.
Good evening. Good morning again, everyone. William Broneal, Law Offices of William Broneal. I do have my red shirt on today. Good to see everybody.
10 points for the red shirt, Will. Fred Brown.
Good morning. I'm kind of wearing a similar red, more maroon shirt, but Northeast Family Federal Credit Union.
Yeah, it's not red, though. You don't get the 10 points, Fred.
That's a shame.
Carol Cavalieri.
Hi, yes, I got my shirt on too. Carol Cavalieri. I'm a realtor with ERA Blanchard and Rossetto right here in Manchester.
Greg Gezzi.
Good morning again, Greg Gessie with G4 Science and Graphics. Since you mentioned about wearing red, I grabbed the old jacket from being ambassador here a few years ago. So good morning, everybody, again. Thank you.
I gotta love them.
Thanks, Greg. Patrick Gleason.
Ambulance Service of Manchester and then the Ambulance of Hartford.
Chris Niss. I guess Chris is not on. Chris is with the ACT Group. Elizabeth Lott with American Eagle Financial Services. Chris Moulard.
Hi, everyone. I'm with Community Voice Channel in Bolton, and I want to wish Fred and Sarah and everyone else who's come up for re-election or whatever it is, a lot of luck this year. Good luck and congratulations.
Deb Pryor.
Not here.
Not here. Deb Pryor, CPA Consulting Services. Kelly Rometta.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Rometta from Mark Inc. of Manchester, and thank you so very much and congratulations to all. Thank you.
Maggie Shorts. I guess Maggie's not here. Maggie's with Ann Miller Real Estate. Millie Texador.
Millie Texador, People's United Bank in Manchester, Branch Manager. Congratulations, everyone.
Rob Wilson.
Good morning, everybody. We're in the red. Rob Wilson with Primary Residential Mortgage. Congratulations, everyone.
And lastly is Kathy Wright.
Hi, Kathy Wright. I'm with Pasco Workforce Solutions. I manage the hopefully back in Manchester office. Right now, I'm still working from home, but hopefully I'll be back in Manchester soon.
So thank you, ambassadors, to all of you. As you can see, it's a very active group, willing to wear their red sweaters or red jacket in Greg's case. And it's a good time for us now to share with the audience here our video presentations of our Ambassador of the Year Award. So if Emma, you could start the screen now and share with us. Each year, we recognize an ambassador who stands out amongst the membership. This person always makes a point to welcome new businesses to town. He attends just about every chamber event and is the first to volunteer for all chamber fundraisers. He is a liaison between the membership and the chamber team. This ambassador makes everyone feel welcome and like part of the chamber family. Ladies and gentlemen, winning his 4th Ambassador of the Year award, we are pleased to announce the 2019 recipient, Fred Brown of Northeast Family Federal Credit Union. Okay, Fred, the chamber has a plaque for you, and I'd like to read it for you. To Fred Brown, Ambassador of the Year 2019, Northeast Family Federal Credit Union. In grateful appreciation of your dedication and outstanding service since 2010 to the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce, Ambassador Club, and to our business community. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Senator Casano to come up and read a proclamation for Fred.
Fred, this is old hat to you now. That in itself is an honor. I don't think I've ever seen anybody so dedicated to be recognized a second or a third time, but to do it 4 times is really a significant honor.
Thank you.
And it says a lot about your dedication to this community, and I truly appreciate that. Thank you. This is an official citation from the General Assembly, introduced by Representatives Curry, Bissett, Luxembourg, and Rojas, and Senator Steve Casano. Be it known to all that the Connecticut Senate and House of Representatives hereby offer sincerest congratulations to Fred Brown in recognition of your dedication to the Manchester Chamber of Commerce and its Ambassador Club. Your hard work has led to the winning of this award 4 times in the past 10 years. Your commitment has been instrumental in the Chamber achieving its mission of making Manchester a better place to live, work, and do business. The entire membership extends its congratulations on this memorable occasion for this very well-deserved honor and expresses hope for continued success. Given this first day of June 2020 at the state capitol, Hartford, Connecticut.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
It's hard. All right, Steve.
We'll be right up here. Thank you.
And now I'd like to have Representative Bissett join us at the podium, about 6 feet apart, and no handshake.
Okay, well, Fred, Steve already did the work of giving you the citation. I'd just like to also congratulate you. Recently watched the Michael Jordan thing where he won the 6 rings, and so you've got 2 more to go to get to that. But I think you can get there because we see at every chamber event, and you're also out there in the community. You saw that you were just donating some supplies, some PPE things, and it's great. So keep up the good work. It's so important what you do for the chamber and for our community. So thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, I'll give you an elbow bump.
Nice.
Thank you, Jason. And now, Fred, would you like to share with us your thoughts on your ambassadorship over the last how many years?
10.
Seems like forever. Sometimes it seems like a blink of the eye. I'm very happy and proud to be recognized as the winner of the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce Ambassador of the Year. Being a multiple award winner brings a few responsibilities, most of which come natural to chamber ambassadors. First and foremost, you attend as many chamber events as possible. You support the businesses within the chamber. And that means grand openings, epic events, business after hours, and many more. Anytime you can do something for the chamber, you participate. A close second is exuding chamber pride. While I'm not doing it today, but wearing the red ambassador sweater to chamber events and even some non-chamber events helps spread the word. What word, you ask? The message of the Manchester Chamber is all about its members and continuing its long tradition. We mean business. Whether you're attending a grand opening or business referral group or an epic or grand opening, the chamber has your back. I'm fortunate to have a fantastic group of folks, the ambassadors, joining me in the club. Thank you for awarding me the Chamber Ambassador of the Year. It's much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you again, Fred, for everything you do for our team, for our membership. You must be running out of space in your trophy case. Yeah, 4? That's. I think you're the first, certainly, to do that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You definitely are a motivator to us, and Emma can probably maybe go out when we can finally get together again and go and meet with members, new members, and I think you'd be a great trainer. And now, for the first time in annual meeting history, we'd like to honor our 2020 Community Achievement Award winner now, rather than wait to the end of the annual meeting. In its 25th year, the Community Achievement Award has gone to some of Manchester's most dedicated, involved, and dynamic individuals. Recipients of this award have gone above and beyond the community's expectations, never expecting anything in return. This year's
recipient is no different. I think I speak for everyone when I say she is an inspiration to all of us. Her courage and strong will to make a difference while being her authentic self has enriched and empowered so many people.
She has spoken for those who lost their way, their dignity, and their voice. She has been a driving force behind legislative changes that have saved countless lives. We commend her as she makes us all want to be better human beings. Today, we thank her formally for her dedication and our mission of making Manchester a better place to live, work, and do business.
So it is our pleasure to announce that the 2020 Manchester Community Achievement Award winner is Sarah Howroyd of I Care Health Networks. Sarah, if you could join us up here, we'd like to read this. We can't do that, right?
Well,
you can join us if you want.
She can see it.
Yeah, we'll move away. So on behalf of the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce, I'd like to present the 2020 Community Achievement Award to Sarah Howroyd of I Care Health Network in grateful appreciation of your contributions, outstanding service, and dedication to Manchester, the business community, and the Manchester residents. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
And now I'd like to invite Senator Casado and Representative Toussaint to join us and present the state citation. You guys are going to have to do this a little bit apart, but you're okay. Come on up.
I'm sure. It's fine.
We'll lay you down.
We're usually standing shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
So Sarah, it is my pleasure to present you with this 2020 Community Service Award. It couldn't go to a more deserving person. I've had the pleasure of knowing you for some time and knowing your family for even longer. You have an incredible Manchester civic-minded family that's given to the community over the years, and you're no different, a chip off the block. And although you don't live in Manchester anymore, we always think of you as a Manchester girl. And April mentioned briefly your legislative advocacy. In my short time as a legislator, I've had the pleasure of working with you on some issues. We got disrupted this legislative session, but if anybody, I think, speaks to the issue of addiction and is on the ground, knowing what we really need right now to try to make a difference, I think it's you. And so you're valuable and will continue to be valuable. You're young, so you've got many more years of this, and it's such a tremendous impact that you've already made and will continue to make in Manchester here and beyond. So it's my pleasure to present you with this citation from the entire legislative delegation, myself, Representative Curry, Luxembourg, Rojas, and Senator Casano, who we'll hear from in a moment. Be hereby known to all that the Connecticut State Senate and House of Representatives hereby offers sincerest congratulations to Sarah Howroyd in recognition of your dedication to effecting change in the lives of those affected by opioid addiction. Your faithful advocacy, speaking on behalf of those who have lost their dignity and ability to speak for themselves. Your life-saving work and co-founding of the Manchester Hope Initiative has given those seeking to rid themselves of addiction the courage and promise of life filled with optimism and hope once again. Your work has reunited families, and for that you have made Manchester an even better place to live. The entire membership hereby extends its congratulations for this very well-deserved award.
Thank you.
Steve, you want to add something?
Sure. First of all, I'm just thrilled to death that you've received this award. I've known your family for a long time. I regret the fact that your dad's not here today. Played a lot of golf together, done a lot of things together, talked a long time, and he would be so proud to be here. Sarah, 10 years ago, I don't know if you knew where you were going the next day. We go around in circles and so on, and something just hit you. I think just by looking around and seeing the needs for people. But you didn't just get hit. You got broadsided to the point where you decided, I'm going to go to school. You ended up going to the School of Social Work and getting a 2-year master's degree in social work, which is an extremely difficult process. I've been through it. I know it. You've touched so many lives. You've helped families. You've helped individuals. For me, the learning moment for me, the most impressive moment was at Center Park, the street, where you organized, working with Chief Montany and working together. We decided we'd have a rally. We did a distribution, and we did an information center, and most important, we had people come up and speak. People that were addicted, people who lost family members. It was one of the most powerful moments I have ever felt. And from that, you just went on with both feet into this entire business. I know just being in the Senate, from the phone calls that I get and so on, family calls, close friends, people I don't know, the desperate need out there. And you've just been a tremendous push to Manchester, tremendous boost, because you know the town, you know the neighborhoods, you know the situations, you know the hospital staff, you know the staffs in Hartford. You've worked to know that. You put everybody else first, and I can't thank you enough. I'd give you a hug, but we'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. And now we'd like to go back to our Zoom event in progress, where Sarah joins us to share her sentiments with us all live today.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, it's a tremendous honor to be Zooming. Definitely a different world here in 2020. But it's a true honor to be here before the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce receiving the 2020 Community Achievement Award. I am tremendously honored. Just over 7 years ago, I couldn't have fathomed accepting this award because I was very near death in the ICU with a 20% chance of survival, with a fateful decision to make, to either change my life trajectory or to die. And luckily, I chose to get my life together and continue to share my story in an effort to inspire hope, change, and recovery in others. I know most of you on this amazing Zoom call, but for those of you who don't know me or my personal story, I grew up in Manchester and was a third-generation resident. I grew up off Porter Street. I went to St. James School, and I had an idyllic childhood that most kids would only dream of. I was the eldest of 3 kids. I grew up in a Brady Bunch neighborhood. My parents were both educators when they met. My dad worked at Travelers, and for all the other Manchesterites, you know, I'm a Howroyd, and my family has long been involved in community service within the community. I went to Manchester High School, and I spent a lot of my study halls and or Sundays teaching special needs kids how to swim. I was involved in student government and an A and B student, and I got through school without trying very hard. And I say that humbly, but I say that because when I was shortly after college, I was in a car accident after receiving my bachelor in social work from Wheelock College, which is now recently bought out by Boston University. I was prescribed an astronomical amount of OxyContin by a doctor I had selected because she went to MIT and Tufts, and I was always taught that the better the education, the better the provider. In my case, that was not the case. She unfortunately had been being solicited by Purdue Pharma at the same time. I take full responsibility for my own actions within all of this, but it forever altered the course of my life. And the person who I spent all of my 20s with was also in a car accident and prescribed an astronomical amount of OxyContin. And he had 3 degrees in engineering. He had one of the most brilliant mathematical minds I've ever known. He was like a human calculator, and recruited by the Navy's nuclear engineering program at 17 for scoring in the top like 0.5% of the ASVAB. He died 4 years ago, and we weren't together at the time that he passed away, because addiction has a really rough way of ripping families and relationships apart. And it's not lost on me that that could have been me. It's not lost on me that it's really important to talk about our struggles that go on in our families in open settings, because the longer that we live in this darkness, pretending that this isn't happening behind closed doors, the longer these problems go on and get swept under the rug. And it's really important to me, and I say with great pride, that I've been sober for over 7 years now, and I don't for one second pretend to hide that this didn't happen, because it helps to shape the clinician that I am. It helps to shape the person that I am and my commitment to the community. And so it's, I really had to walk through the depths of hell to get to where I am today. But it's also, I feel like, a big part of my life path. And I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason. And I also believe that it is really, really important to be the change that we wish to see in the world. And for the patients that I work with at the Eye Care Health Network, with the HOPE Initiative, I feel like it's really, really important to see someone in leadership who lives it, breathes it, and can role model what it looks like to get your life back on track. We often say we're a second chance society, but if we really reflect, we're really not. A lot of our policies and standards as a nation are not indicative or reflective of people getting a second chance. There are a lot of systems set up to continue to oppress people who have struggled. And so I feel like now is more of a time, now more than ever, that it's important that we reflect about who we give a second chance to, and thinking about treating other people as we want to be treated. I also want to thank this morning all of my amazing, unwavering support from family, friends, mentors, colleagues, neighbors, and even well-wishers who I've never met. My gratitude is endless. And in my own journey, I can't even begin to tell you how many people have come up to me and pulled me aside to share their own struggles personally, whether they've been afflicted, or a child, or a parent, or a spouse, or they themselves, or a neighbor. It's really amazing to see how many families have been impacted by addiction, and how important it is that we speak openly about our struggles, because nothing changes if nothing changes. So I just want to say too that Mom and Dad, who my dad's no longer here, but in my amazing family, I would not be where or who I am today without their unconditional love, support, and encouragement. And to my mom especially, thank you for teaching me that women can do anything in the face of adversity, and that with tenacity, fearlessness, grace, and perseverance, we can overcome any obstacle that we set our mind to. I am as strong as I am because of you and your influence, and thank you for embedding in me a deep commitment and desire to serve my community. Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much for this special recognition and all the amazing work you do. You are the glue of our town. And I also need to thank Eye Care Health Network, the Rotary Club of Manchester, Manchester Police Department, and the Manchester Hope Initiative. Manchester is magical to me in so many special ways, and I thank you and all of the wonderful citizens in Manchester in leadership for embracing hope in all of our work in town. We lead by example in Manchester, and I am profoundly proud of that fact. We are not afraid to take risks when something is wrong, even if it's not in vogue or glamorous. We know that if it's the right thing to do morally or ethically in Manchester, even if it's not cool and there might be a risk involved, it's the right thing to do, we do it. And that embodies Manchester's spirit more than anything. There are many other people in groups that I haven't mentioned directly, but who believed in me and offered support during times when I wanted to give up. And I'd like to say to each of you, thank you. Ultimately, I do what I do every single day for the plethora of men, but especially the women. Who have lived with addiction issues and tried to overcome them, but were told, if not even guaranteed, that they would fail long before they could even begin trying. When my days are too long or too difficult, I fight for you, because until all of us have a voice and a seat at the table, and addiction is seen as the neuropsychological disease that it is by all, our work is far from done. To the 177 Americans dying every day, daily, from opioid overdose, I fight for you as well, because that could have been me. And no family or child should ever have to endure such pain. I will close urging each of you to share your stories, whatever that may look like, whatever challenges or barriers you too have overcome in your life. Your story could be the key that unlocks someone else's prison. Don't be afraid to share it, even if it's unglamorous or it takes a great deal of bravery, boldness, and courage to share. Because even if one life is impacted positively, it was well worth any effort that you put forth. So thank you so much again for this award. I am tremendously honored, and I look forward to continuing to work with all of you in multiple capacities. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Sarah. We now have, we're not going to let you go too quick here. We're going to have Mayor Moran make some comments about your participation in our community and maybe a town proclamation. Jay?
Do you want me to do Fred first and get him out of the way, or do you want me to do?
Yeah, you need to do Fred as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah, let me do Fred because, you know, this is old hat. And good morning, everyone. I just want to say, and thank you, Bob, for your words on our friend Dottie Cannon. Let me take a deep breath here. Her food nourished us, her smile warmed us, but it's her love that made us better people. So we will miss Dottie dearly in this community. So thank you for your words on her earlier. And to all my business friends out there, we're in phase 2. Today's opening day for many of you, and we wish you well. And remember, social distancing is the key to staying open. And I thank you for your to keep going. And I thank all those in the community that have supported our businesses. I've walked a lot because I've eaten a lot of carbs, a lot of takeout. So I appreciate that. But Fred, I told April earlier, it's financial times now for this pandemic. So if we're going to give this out every year, we're just going to change the date and save some paper for the community. But we appreciate what we do. Whereas each year the Chamber announces an ambassador year, this honors an ambassador who has gone above and beyond the call of duty and has exemplified the spirit of an ambassador by their involvement with our membership. Whereas 2020's GMCC Community Ambassador Award will be presented to Fred Brown. Fred, Director of Marketing, Membership Development, Northeast Family Credit Union, is not only a marketing superhero, donning his cape as credit union man, but also shown incredible feats by winning the Ambassador Year Award 4 times out of the last 8 years it's been in existence. Whereas this year was no different than any other, Fred was very busy and kept the fellow ambassadors on their toes. The 236 points that earned him the win did not come easy. In order to win these points, ambassadors must attend events, check in with members, deliver new member plaques, promote the Chamber on social media, and refer the Chamber to those not yet members. And whereas after winning for the 4th time, it's obvious Fred takes his ambassadorship very seriously and loves what he does. Thank you, Fred, and congratulations on your 4th win. Now, therefore, I, Jay Moran, Mayor of the great town of Manchester, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the town administration, and the awesome citizens of Manchester, do hereby congratulate Fred Brown, Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce 2020 Ambassador Year Award recipient. And I know you're going to continue to work hard, but we also know you're in love, so we might not see you as much as that. So congratulations, Fred. Very proud of you. Congratulations to Fred Brown.
Thank you very much, Mayor Moran.
You're welcome. And of course, folks, if you're not inspired by the words of homegrown Sarah Howroyd today in these crazy pandemic and uncivil times here in our country and in our local community, it's the spirit of someone like Sarah that keeps you going. Sarah, I just want to tell you that you're just a brave soul, and you did the first thing possible. You looked in the mirror, and the only truth that matters in life, and I've learned a lot this week about this, folks, is that the truth that you know who you are and what you've been through, and you know the truth. And that's so important by your work to explain it. And by that, you've gone out. But you said to share your stories. Some of the greatest public servants take the pain in their life and turn it in so much good to help others. And you're reminded of my story of losing a child of 6.5 years, 14 years, age 6.5, and how I took that pain and continue to serve our community for what they did for me during that. So folks, if anything you learned today, like Sarah says, take your pain, take your struggles, look in the mirror, know who you are, know the truth, and go out and serve and make a difference in the lives. And that's what Sarah is doing every day. She's taking that pain and making a difference in the lives of others, and will continue for the rest of her life. So thank you, Sarah. That's my personal comments. Now I'm going to give you the proclamation. Whereas 2020's GMC Community Achievement Award will be presented to Sarah Howroyd. Sarah is a Manchester native and attended St. James School and Manchester High School. Sarah herself has struggled with addiction herself and is using her personal experience to help others who are struggling. Her charge to diminish the negative perception and the stigma around substance abuse disorders is very personal. And whereas she is a licensed social worker and has extensive education in mental health, substance abuse, and other addiction counseling, Sarah is extremely knowledgeable in the fields of social work, legislative affairs, Connecticut laws, and patient advocacy. Sarah has a strong desire to affect change, not only locally, but nationally. And whereas Sarah is a champion for all those who've lost their voice to this disease, she took a painful and very difficult time in her life that could have impeded her personal and professional growth, and has used it like a weapon to combat an epidemic, and continues to do that every day. Whereas Sarah was named the Student of the Year by the National Association of Social Workers. In 2017, she received the first Congressional Connecticut Public Safety Award by Senator Cassano and the Connecticut Senate. She has received the Hometown Hero Award from the Hartford Courant. The Hartford Business Journal's 40 Under 40 award numerous legislative citations and proclamations, and co-founded. And I remember when the Chief Montague came to me and said, "We're not going to arrest people, we're going to help them." I remember that day not too long ago. Co-founded Hope Initiative with former Manchester Police Chief Mark Montague. And whereas Sarah gives back to the community in numerous other ways, as a Rotarian, volunteering for Rebuilding Manchester, Elk fundraisers, Princess and the Prom, and the Pathfinders Club. And whereas Sarah was nominated by numerous community members, and the nominating committee stated that she was the clear choice for this award this year, stated April DeFalco, President of the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce. Now, therefore, I, Jay Moran, Mayor of the great town of Manchester, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the town administration, and the awesome citizens of Manchester, do hereby congratulate Sarah Howroyd, the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce 2020 Community Achievement Award recipient, and it gives me great pleasure to announce, because of her hard work, her passion and love, and to change the world through this ugly disease, I will name today Sarah Howroyd Day. Congratulations, Sarah. I'm proud of you. Keep doing your work. It's not easy out there, but we're all going to serve and continue to do better for our community. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor Moran.
And I will give you a virtual hug. I started
virtual
that.
hug.
Left from me. I thank all of you on the chamber for all you do into our community, and welcome to opening day for many of you. I have to actually go do an interview for Fox 61 to tell them how great our businesses are, so I'm leaving in a couple minutes. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. And we're real happy about the opening of businesses here at the chamber. But we do have one more thing for Sarah today. We have a member of the audience who would like to address Sarah. And I'm hoping he's here.
I'm here. I'm hoping you're talking about me.
I am.
Yes.
This is This is retired Chief Mark Montmany calling you from faraway Massachusetts. And I couldn't miss an opportunity to congratulate Sarah. And if I could just briefly tell everybody about our meeting. Sarah was introduced to me by her mom. And she said, my daughter would like to come in and talk to you if she could. She has a topic that's near and dear to her heart. And so I said, certainly, have her come in. And we sat down and talked, and she didn't tell me that she was in recovery. She simply told me that she had concerns about the opiate epidemic and what the police department was doing to solve the opiate epidemic. And I said, well, you know, we're doing the best we can. We arrest as many dealers and users as we can. We have an active drug team, and we're pulling people off the streets as quickly as possible. And Sarah looked at me and said, how's that working for you? And I had to admit that she was right. It wasn't working for us. As a police department, our primary goal is life safety. And we were losing lives at a tremendous rate. And no one has the moral authority to decide what those lives are worth. They're all equal. So Sarah explained to me the addiction cycle and the process and suggested that perhaps we could do more. And together, Sarah and I talked, and we had to kind of construct what is more for a police department. And the theme that we came up with, just the two of us, was that police need to be the entry point into the recovery system rather than the entry point into the criminal justice system. Because quite frankly, the criminal justice system doesn't do a very good job keeping people clean and off drugs. And so together we formed HOPE, Heroin and Opiate Prevention and Education. And we worked for months and months and months to get people on board with our concept. And quite frankly, we took quite a chance. This was frowned upon in the law enforcement community, and we did it first. We set the standard, and after we had a program, we proposed it to other towns. And some towns looked at us and said, thanks, but keep moving. Other towns embraced it, and now the HOPE program has been duplicated in at least a half dozen, if not a dozen, towns in Connecticut, and the program is moving across the country at this point. So I credit that to starting with Sarah, and thank you very much for all you've done for Manchester, and you truly appreciate this great award.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
That concludes our Community Achievement Award presentation. April?
Sure. Thank you so much, Chief, for being here. It really added to this special day of celebrating Sarah. And Sarah, I said it in the video earlier, and I have to say it again. You truly are an inspiration. Your courage to speak out and speak for others you probably have no idea how many you've empowered. You've reconnected families who lost hope of ever being whole again. You saved countless lives, and I commend you. You're a force to be reckoned with, and we thank you all for your commitment and bravery. Congratulations again. And
Thank you, April.
Thank you. Speaking of forces to be reckoned with, I've watched our community come together in the past few months in a way that is unparalleled. The selflessness and placing others above yourselves is so encouraging. I've watched our members giving each other a hand up, ensuring that no one gets left behind. I know that the term "we're all in this together" has been widely used lately. Some of you have probably heard it way too many times, but how else can we describe what we've experienced in the last 3 months? Overcoming this challenge could only have happened by working together and the reassurance that none of us were alone. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in times of challenge." And this could not be more true right now with what our business owners and our families have faced during COVID. So many of you stand out to me for facing these challenging times head on, holding strong to your conviction that failure is not an option. You're weathering a storm, and in the process, you're learning, you're evolving, we're all acquiring new skills and knowledge that's going to take us into the future. This time has actually made us all stronger leaders, making a positive social impact in not only our communities and not just today, but for our future. Thank you to each and every one of our members for inspiring me, our team, and our community. I'm so very proud to be a part of this great Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. And now back to you, Bob.
Thanks, April. And I also want to congratulate Sarah on what a great job she does for our community. I want to end our meeting with thank you all for attending today. While I'm sure most of us would prefer to meet together and enjoy the company of other chamber members, at this time and place, things are certainly a bit different. I want to personally thank our sponsor, Key Bank and Dave Constant, for sticking with us and sticking with their commitment to our annual meeting, despite the fact that this is a little different than it has been in the past. I truly want to thank the members of the executive board for their dedication during these times and their extra meetings with us and their support and guidance. I want to thank each of you for being a member of our chamber. During these times, it's even more important that we have you as members. For those of you that have already paid your dues this year, a big thank you goes out to you. The Chamber of Commerce has tried to be there for our members over the last 3 months, being the credible source for information and providing members with what we feel they needed from their local Chamber of Commerce. In looking to the future, the Chamber will be there for our membership moving forward. As April commented, and I certainly agree, our membership has been a source of information, or a source of inspiration for many of us. Whether it was watching our hospital handle a major healthcare crisis, a pop-up takeout store created by a restaurant on the fly, or individuals organizing fundraisers to feed our first responders while buying from our struggling member restaurants. Individual acts such as these during a time of crisis really did prove to be inspirational. I believe that out of this adversity, much good will come. We have certainly learned about the adaptability of our member businesses, and when challenged, it has been amazing to see them respond. Your Chamber of Commerce has seen what our members can do in times of crisis, and hopefully our membership has seen what we can do for our membership as well. April and her small team continue to provide important information and correspondence to help our member businesses get through the COVID crisis and reopen. And that is, as Jay Moran pointed out today, we are reopening. As we continue through 2020 and into 2021, on behalf of our board, I pledge that the Chamber of Commerce will be there for our membership. Incoming Chairman Phil Nemphos and I are meeting regularly to accomplish a smooth transition, and I know Phil is looking forward to April 2021 when he becomes chairman. I want to thank you all again for attending, and at this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the 119th annual meeting of the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce.
So moved.
And I need a second.
Second.
All in favor? I guess you can raise your hands or whatever.
Aye. Aye.
Oh, I'm gaveling down the meeting again, virtually. This concludes our 119th annual meeting of the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you, everyone.